Miss Anthony. I worked really hard on that.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'd like to call to order this regularly scheduled Board of Education meeting, Wednesday, February 26, 2025. Ms. Stokely, could you please call the roll?
Ms. Coco?
Here.
Mr. Gomez? Mr. Harris?
Here.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Here.
Ms. White?
Here.
Mr. Gomez is not feeling well, but in true Mr. Gomez fashion, he is not missing our board meeting, and he is available via computer. So he is here this evening as well. Thank you. Item B is approval of the agenda. It is recommended that the Board of Education approves the agenda of the February 26, 2025 Board of Education meeting. Action by the Board of Education in adoption of a consent agenda means that all items are adopted by one singular motion unless a member of the Board of Education, treasurer, or superintendent requests that any such item be removed from the consent agenda and voted upon separately.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Stokely, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Item C is our opening ceremony, informational items. This meeting is a meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business. It is not a public community meeting, although there are opportunities for public participation. If an individual wishes to address the board regarding a topic found on the meeting agenda, the individual must complete a registration form found inside the attendance notebook, which is over on the library stand, and present it to the treasurer. Following the introduction of the topic by the board president, followed by board discussion, the individual will be recognized. If an individual wishes to address the board regarding a topic not found on the meeting agenda, they must notify the superintendent and/or board president of the topic no later than 3 business days in advance of the meeting. These individuals may share their comments during the board business portion of the agenda. In both cases, the individual will preface comments by an announcement of his or her name and address and limit comments to 3 minutes. All statements should be directed to the board president. No person may address or question board members individually. An unabridged board agenda for this meeting can be found on your electronic device, as shown on the screen. And other copies may be found on the table by the sign-in book. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education is March 5th, 2025 at 5:30 p.m. in the Cuyahoga Falls High School Library. Now for our Pledge of Allegiance and welcome, Mrs. Schaefer.
Please stand as you're able and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. It's always nice when it's full to hear the Pledge of Allegiance with so many voices. That's always neat. Oh goodness, I don't have my glasses on.
Oh. Readers.
Thank
Okay.
you so much. Oh yeah, that's great. Welcome. Our vision, Cuyahoga Falls School District, the hub of our community, committed to a culture of caring. We innovate, we create, we personalize education for all. Our mission, every student, every day, every opportunity. I'm sorry, was that for me or was that for you, Mrs. Coco?
That's for you as well to read the strategic plan.
The board's strategic plan goals are as follows. School safety. We aspire to have a welcoming environment that ensures that the physical and social well-being needs of every student and staff member are met. Academic growth. We aspire to have a significant growth through personalized education for all students. We aspire to improve graduation rates so that our students are prepared for employment, enrollment, or enlistment. Engagement, inclusion, and diversity. We will ensure that every student has access to resources they need when they need it in order to be successful. Technology and systems integration. We aspire to create safe, secure, and efficient technology systems to support high-quality teaching, learning, and district operations. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you, Mrs. Schaefer. Item D is our presentations. First up is Dr. Selico with recognition.
Thank you, Ms. Coco. I'll head over to the microphone over here. Good evening. Good, that's pretty good. I'll take it. Well, we have a lot of exciting news this evening, and students that are being recognized tonight, I know you're excited, but you have to wait just a little bit longer, because we have a couple of recognitions that we'd like to give out this evening. So first off, I need to find the awards before I do that. Okay. Ms. Coco has them all ready for me. That's great. All right. So we have two special awards this evening. One is a recognition of someone that has just been made such an impact on our district, and I just want to take a moment to recognize him. And so tonight I'm inviting the Board of Education in recognizing an individual whose dedication and tireless efforts have profoundly shaped the future of our schools. We are here to honor tonight Mr. Tim Belby. So Mr. Tim Belby, if you could come forward. I didn't see you. I was in a panic. I was looking all over for you, and I didn't see you, and I was starting to panic. Oh, that's what it is. Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Good to see you. Well, I'm going to read about you, and you're going to stand here while I embarrass you a little bit.
Okay.
Forward.
Wow.
Okay. And this goes back.
Thank you so much.
All right, well, let's hear more about Mr. Belby here. All right. It is no exaggeration to say that Mr. Tim Belby is the driving force behind the successful passage of our bond issue. His advocacy was nothing short of extraordinary. He invested countless hours, his energy, and his passion, becoming a champion for our students and our schools. I am told by those who were around him and watched him work, because I was not here at the time, that they even wondered if he got any sleep. Even when facing personal health challenges, Tim's commitment never wavered. He continued to lead our levy efforts with determination, demonstrating a level of dedication that is truly inspirational. But Tim's contributions extend far beyond the bond issue. He has been and continues to be actively involved in our parent groups and PTO, consistently working to improve the educational experience for all of our students. His compassion is a testament to his belief in the power of community and the importance of investing in our children's future. Adding to his understanding of the educational landscape, Tim is also married to an educator, providing him with a unique perspective on the challenges and opportunities facing our schools. And let's not forget his innovative thinking. Tim's leadership in developing reusable levy renewal signs, a simple yet brilliant idea, has saved our district valuable resources. It's an example of how his practical approach and his commitment to fiscal responsibility. Tim Belby is a true advocate, a dedicated community member, and a visionary leader. He embodies the spirit of service and the power of collective action. His contributions have made a lasting impact on our schools and our community. Therefore, on behalf of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education, it is with immense gratitude and admiration that we recognize and celebrate Mr. Tim Belby. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much.
Thank you would be fine.
I'm not prepared to say a couple words, but I'll say a couple words. Thank you guys very much. The levy committee was a lot of fun, learned quite a bit, worked with a great group of people through the bond committee as well as more recent renewal campaigns. And just thank you for the recognition. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, and I'll give you your box.
Thank you.
Oh, geez. Oh, great. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
We're going to take a picture after we get you
Absolutely.
I'd like to add that I'm not sure that his wife was as excited about the reusable levy signs because they were in their garage taking up a large portion for a very long time. But just congratulations to Tim Belby. I've firsthand worked with him long before I was on the board in many different capacities, including the bond issue, and in the school capacity as a parent as well. And the impact he's had on our district, and not only our district, but the students in our district. If you ask any student who has ever been around Mr. Belby, they remember him. And they say, there's Mr. Belby, there's Mr. Belby. And he has left a legacy in this district. So,
You're gonna make me cry. Thank you very
you know,
much.
I couldn't not say a few words.
Thank you all.
Thank you. All right, our next recipient is for our Friend of Education Award. And again, tonight, we have the distinct privilege of recognizing an individual whose dedication to our school community has been nothing short of extraordinary as well. The Friend of Education Award is presented to those who go above and beyond and whose contributions leave an indelible mark on our students and our schools. And tonight, we are thrilled to present this award to Marie Rourke on behalf of the Cuyahoga Falls School Board. Yes, we do. Marie's involvement in our district is a testament to her commitment to the betterment of our community. She is a force of nature, a true leader, and a beacon of compassion. Her dedication is evident in her instrumental role in our levy committees. She is organized, insightful, and tirelessly works to ensure that our schools have the resources they need to provide a quality education for all of our students. Her efforts have been vital to the success of these crucial initiatives. Beyond the classroom, Marie is a vital part of our school community. She helps organize our annual golf outing, a significant event that raises essential funds for our levy campaigns. She is a dedicated member of the Athletic Council, advocating for our student athletes and supporting their endeavors. Her commitment extends beyond our schools, as she also serves on the Parks and Recreation Board, further demonstrating her dedication to the overall well-being of our community. And while her children have graduated from our district, I believe, is that correct? I thought so, okay. Marie's dedication has not wavered. She continues to be a constant presence, a reliable and supportive force. She is always willing to lend a hand, whether it's organizing fundraisers for our athletic teams or volunteering countless hours in the concession stands, where we have spent a number of hours. I try to help. I'm not sure how helpful I am, but it's fun to be in there with you nonetheless. And she does it all with a smile, a testament to her genuine passion and positive spirit. We must also acknowledge that Marie is also a dedicated educator herself, teaching 5th grade in Hudson. And she is a true leader, not just in her actions, but in her spirit. She is always willing to go the extra mile, and therefore, on behalf of the Cuyahoga Falls Board of Education, it is with gratitude that we present the Friend of Education Award to Marie Rourke, and we thank you for your contributions and your lasting impact on our schools. Marie, let's begin your... You're trying to get away
sorry,
from
yes, I'm
speaking,
running
too.
away.
Oh, I know you're running away. I know. I'm gonna take a picture afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Congratulations, and I wanted to say a few words about Marie too. She was also part of the bond campaign, and I've known her since then. Mr. Gomez was prepared to make a statement. Mr. Gomez, did you want to say a few words?
Sure. I would just add that Marie's positive attitude is absolutely infectious. I can hang her around her. But just the amount of effort she continues to put in. Anytime I'm at an athletic event, I see Marie Rourke there. And I've shown up at so many senior nights, and Marie is always there on behalf of the athletic boosters, taking pictures, bringing treats for the senior athletes as well. She just goes above and beyond for our students, and in particular our athletes, and we so appreciate what she does.
Thank you so much. I hope you could hear all the nice things that Mr. Gomez just said about you, and thank you for being such a wonderful liaison with the Parks and Rec for us. It's much appreciated. Item 3 is the Staff Star Award. I'd like to call up Miss Allison Bogdan.
Good evening. Congratulations, Mr. Belby and Ms. Rourke. Worked with both of you and couldn't be more deserving people. This evening, it is my honor to recognize our Staff Star of the Month. So every month, our staff will nominate somebody that gets recognized for this award. So you're nominated by your colleagues. And this evening, I'm going to ask Ms. Hall, who is the principal at Lincoln Elementary to join me to recognize our Staff Star Award, who is a cleaner at Lincoln, Mr. Mike McCullough. Could you come on up?
Good evening, and before we do that, I also want to say congratulations to Mr. Belby. We go way back. I had his students walk in the door as kindergartners, and they're now junior and a eighth grader. And it has truly been outstanding to just see the work that he has done throughout this district, so congratulations, well deserved.
Thank you.
And we are so pleased tonight to be able to recognize Mr. Mike McCullough. Mr. McCullough has made exceptional contributions to Lincoln. He consistently ensures our school's functionality and cleanliness through meticulous attention to detail and proactive service. He anticipates staff needs, ensuring we have the resources required for our daily operations. Beyond his duties, Mike demonstrates a strong commitment to student mentorship. He has patiently guided a student through custodial tasks, fostering responsibility and pride. His dedication to both operational excellence and student development makes him an invaluable member of our team. We are so thankful to have Mike at Lincoln, and he is truly deserving of this honor. Congratulations.
Item 4 is our Top Tigers recognition. Dr. Selico, you're back up. Thank you.
All right, students, we only have 12 more awards before we get to you. Is that okay? 12 more. Can you make it? Just kidding. Who said? Somebody say no? Yeah, I don't blame you. I couldn't get through that either. All right. Well, we are ready for our Top Tiger Awards. Parents and families in the room, how many of you have been through this before? How many of you had a Top Tiger? Anybody? Oh, there's always a few in the room. Excellent. Very good. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Top Tiger if you are unfamiliar. So it's an award given by the Board of Education to students from each building each month. The students are chosen by various staff members in their buildings, and I get the pleasure of being able to read about each one of your children. I'm going to ask that when we announce the student's name, so students, this is where you have to perk up, ready, listen, we're going to follow lots of directions. So when I call your name, you're going to come up just like our adults did earlier. You're going to stand here. I am going to also read lots of things about you. Mr. Harris is going to give you some goodies that you'll hear about in just a moment. And then when you are finished there, Miss Stewart is here. She will take your picture back here, all right? And then you can go back and sit for a while until we're finished, and then we are all going to go across the hall for some more pictures and some more presents for you as well. I also want to point out that you will get this evening a great yard sign. So you can put one of these in your yard or in a window at home. And these are compliments of our teachers union. And Mrs. Carlisle is here somewhere. She might have scooted out. But she's our president, and on her behalf, we want to thank her for being here this evening and for thinking of our students. So thank you. Mrs. Davison is here, so you could say thank you for you as well. All right. So I also want to introduce one last person before we get started here. And I forget who's here. Chris? Okay, Chris is here this evening. She's going to speak to you on behalf of our Alumni and Schools Foundation, who are also very instrumental in making this evening possible for us. And I think, did you have someone with you this evening? Also someone? Oh, yes. I forgot. Who's here with you this evening? I forgot your name. I'm sorry. Nikki, that's right, Nikki. Okay, Nikki's here as well. I want to acknowledge you as well, so thank you for being here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chris Schrader. I'm a trustee of the Cuyahoga Falls Schools Foundation and Alumni Association, and I'm also an alumnus of this high school from way back when. And my husband was an educator here for 35 years. The Cuyahoga Falls School Foundation and Alumni Association is one of the sponsors of the Top Tiger Award. Each year, we award over $150,000 in student scholarships for colleges and or trade schools. We award classroom teacher grants and help connect alumni by assisting with class reunions and class websites. We also recognize distinguished alumni and host a recognition program and reception each May. All of our top Tigers are invited to march with us in the Memorial Day Parade this year. Tonight, after all the top Tigers have been recognized, you will head over to the cafeteria, and then once your picture's taken, then you'll sit back down with your family, and we'll distribute, as we call up to your school, a t-shirt you'll get and a folder for your parent who brought you here. Thank you for everything, and congratulations, kids.
All right, now it's time. We're ready? Everybody ready?
Ready?
All right. I don't hear kids, I hear some adult voices. Kids, are we ready? Thank you. All right, well, we're going to start with DeWitt Elementary, and our first student this evening is Delilah Jordan. Delilah, there she is. All right, Delilah, good. We're off to a good start. Delilah is a conscientious and hardworking student. She is a quiet leader who can always be observed doing what is expected of her. She is kind to her teachers and classmates. She enjoys doing research on topics of shared interest with friends. She is patient and encourages those around her to be the best by showing them grace when they make a mistake. Delilah deserves the title of Top Tiger, showing exemplary character at all times. Congratulations. All right. Our next student is Ryan Wyant from DeWitt. Yes, I love the excitement. All right. Okay, this year Ryan, are you ready? Ready? Ryan has made tremendous growth in all areas. His behavior and attitude towards school have been positive, and he is determined to do well. Ryan takes ownership of his work and behavior throughout the school day. He works hard to complete his work and tries his best when assignments may be difficult. Ryan perseveres in order to complete those assignments. Ryan practices safety by listening to teachers, walking in the hallways, and transitioning throughout the building without needing reminders. Ryan works with a variety of adults throughout the building and follows all of their expectations and directions. His communication and skills have shown great progress. Ryan, what happened? We gotta get another one. Okay, I'm almost done. All right. His communication skills have shown great progress, right, this year, and we cannot wait to see what the remainder of this year brings. Well, I haven't gotten flowers in a long time, so I'll take this one. Thank you. All right, Ryan. All right, moving along to Lincoln, we have Kinsley Allensworth. Kinsley? Kinsley, what grade are you in? Fifth? Oh, first. Wow. All right. Okay, Kinsley. All right. Ryan's excited. We love his excitement. All right. Kinsley has been an exceptional student at Lincoln, consistently demonstrating both hard work and excellent behavior in the classroom. Kinsley has been working on her reading and has shown great improvement in her fluency and comprehension. She always puts forth her best effort in math and is eager to learn new concepts. Most importantly, Kinsley is a kind and respectful classmate who is always willing to help others. She follows classroom rules and expectations without reminders. Kinsley is a positive and enthusiastic member of our class, and she always participates in class discussions. Kinsley deserves to be recognized for her hard work, positive attitude, and active participation. Even though she plays soccer on a travel team, whoa, that's big kid status, and practices twice a week, she always comes to school ready to learn and contributes to a positive classroom environment. Way to lead with Black Tiger pride. Good job. All right, our next student is Logan Linger. Logan? Logan, that's a great name. I've been saying it all day. I'm like, is it Linger? Logan Linger, is that right? Love it. All right. All right, Logan. Logan takes being a black tiger to heart and proves that he is a top tiger every day. His excellent citizenship sets him apart from the others. He works hard to be a good role model, a great listener, and a kind friend. He shows strength of character as he ignores distractions and always tries to do the right thing. His dedication to his schoolwork shows. He works hard to complete the work that he can be proud of. These admirable qualities show that Logan deserves the title of Top Tiger. Congratulations. All right, moving on to Preston. We have Ronan Davidsmeyer. Ronan? Principal Brown, is Ronan here this evening? Have you seen Ronan? No. Okay, all right. Well, we'll make sure he gets all of his things. Okay. All right, our next student is Abigail Pontiliano. All right. Abigail, are you in fifth grade? Fourth? Kindergarten? So everybody can see you. Look how pretty and pink you are. All right. And you go by Abby? Perfect. I got the right person. Abby is a top tiger each and every day when she comes to kindergarten. She enters with a big smile and is ready to go. Abby not only does her own work carefully, but she is always willing to help a friend with whatever they need. Mr. Brooks can always count on Abby to be doing the right thing, even going above and beyond, like cleaning up the room at the end of the day. Abby is the kind of young leader that Preston is lucky to have. Keep up the great work, Abby. We're going to move on to Price. And at Price, we have Riley Gardner. Hi, Riley. All right, Riley. Riley Gardner is a natural leader in the classroom and beyond. Her actions serve as a model for others about how to be an exemplary citizen. This youngster displays a tenacity for learning, a desire to excel, and high regard for others and their well-being. Riley is a name to remember as she embodies the Black Tiger Way. She is an outstanding member of the community. Well, congratulations. All right, our next Price student is Simon Rye. Simon? Let's turn around and see. Let's hear about Simon. Simon has grown both academically and socially this school year. Each morning, when he says the Black Tiger Pride Pledge of being respectful, taking responsibility, and practicing safety, he takes these words to heart and is a role model for our class. Simon comes to school each day with a positive attitude and willing to give it his all. Together with help from his family, Simon is having an outstanding year and has earned all A's and APs on his report card. He is a fine example of a top tiger. Good job, Simon. Congratulations. All right, moving on to Richardson. We have Niraj Kadka. Niraj? Are you his sister? Oh, Niraj. Are you ready? Get right in and see what's in there. I will too. All right, Niraj, let's hear what we have to say. Niraj has made so much growth so far this school year. All right. All right, hold on 1 second, okay? We're going to just say a few words, okay? All right. He works hard in his tasks given to him. He has met academic goals and continues to grow in his new goals. Do you want to say hi in there? Okay, go on. You want to say hi? All right. He is always kind to his friends and staff. He always comes into his days with a smile on his face. Way to go, Niraj, and good luck to you in the future. All right, All right. My understanding is Robert Miller II is not here this evening, but he's also should be honored, and congratulations to Robert. We'll make sure he gets his awards as well. All right, moving on to Silver Lake, we have Gabriel Kowalczyk. Gabriel, is that right? All right. All right. I know Gabriel. Hi. I've seen you in your class. Come on over. All right. There's a lot going on. I know. It's a lot of people, Gabe. I hear ya. All right. Gabe is a first grade student at Silver Lake Elementary School who excels in building and artistic activities, showcasing his creativity and musical talents. He has made notable progress in staying on task and has successfully learned to add numbers from 0 to 10. Awesome. Additionally, Gabe is developing his reading skills and is establishing a growth mindset, which is wonderful to see as he communicates his wants and needs with increasing confidence. We are so proud of you, Gabe. All right, our next student from Silver Lake is Joseph Toman. Got a long walk, huh, Joseph? All the way in the back. Right up here. We're gonna put Joseph. All right, Joseph is an incredibly hard worker. He is consistently striving to be the best he can be. He always offers to help those around him and is respectful to his classmates. Joseph takes responsibility for his actions and for his education. He completes all of his work assigned to him and asks questions when he does not understand something. That's very good. Joseph has grown so much during his time at Silver Lake, and his attitude and character leave us so impressed every week. Congratulations, Joseph. Good work. All right, moving on to those middle schoolers. Ready for our first one at Bolick? Our first student is Ridley Collins. Ridley? Hey, Ridley. All right. Ridley is a very kind and caring student and is always showing respect and responsibility in the classroom. She is eager to learn, always puts forth her best effort, and is kind in every way. She interacts with her peers and staff members at school. Ridley leads by example in her words, action, and work ethic in class. She will be exceptional in whatever she chooses to accomplish because of her ability to adapt and strive for greatness, while also being a perfect example of what a dedicated learner should look like in the classroom. Congratulations, Ridley. Your hard work and kindness doesn't go unnoticed. Another Lipinski this evening, right? I think this is number 2. All right, our second student is John Logan Lipinski. Was it your little brother that we had last time? I can't remember. Cousin. Okay. All right, John. John exemplifies leadership through his actions and character in health class, consistently embodying our school's ethos of taking responsibility, being respectful, and practicing safety. He is a role model to his peers, always leading by example and stepping up to help others around him, whether assisting classmates with tasks or offering a kind word of encouragement. His respectful demeanor and proactive approach to supporting both his peers and adults demonstrate his exceptional commitment to fostering a positive and safe learning environment. John truly deserves this recognition for his outstanding leadership and dedication to our school community. Nice, very nice. All right, moving on to Roberts. Our first student is Keston Kuzik. Keston, I've not heard that name before. I love when I hear names for the first time. Yeah, that's nice. Cool. Yeah. All right, Keston is an exceptional student who truly brightens our classroom with his vibrant presence and active participation. Despite his young age, he has set remarkable goals for himself, and we eagerly anticipate witnessing his achievements. Keston's kind demeanor makes him approachable and trustworthy, fostering a positive environment among his peers. He is always enthusiastic about contributing to class discussions, inspiring others to engage as well. Additionally, as a member of the PBIS committee, he exemplifies leadership qualities and represents our Black Tiger pride beautifully. All right, and our second student from Roberts is Medina Ramani. I don't think all right. Well, congratulations to her. We'll make sure that she gets all of her awards as well. And we are moving on to the big kids, the high school. We have two students this evening. We have Anna Reyes. Anna, are you here today? Are you shy? You look a little embarrassed. All right. Well, you have a great smile, so let's show everybody, okay? All right. All right. Anna exemplifies our health and physical education expectations by maintaining a positive attitude and always putting forth her best effort. Anna is a senior who is actively involved in the CTE program. She travels to Kent Roosevelt to take part in the athletic, health care, and fitness program. Anna enjoys learning about the anatomy and physiology of the body. Ever since taking health at the high school, she credits her encouraging teachers for her interest, passion, and motivation. After graduating high school, Anna would like to pursue a career as a registered nurse or cardiologist. Wow, good aspirations. Congratulations. Oh, we saved this one for last. I think I know this guy. You better be here tonight, Liam. We have Liam Watson for the high school. Hi, Liam. How you doing? Long time, long see. Liam is a member of my Soups Troops, and we were just together yesterday, and he was helping kindergartners. It was very fun to watch. Our seniors and our kindergartners, we did a project together. It was fun. And he was, thankfully, I could rely on him because I was getting nervous that it was going to be me and 40 kindergartners by myself. But 7 of my kids came, so that was good. All right, Liam, let's hear what you got going on here. So Liam exemplifies our health and physical education expectations by respecting others and following safe practices, rules, and procedures. Liam has taken many courses in the department, including health, PE1, team sports, personal fitness 2, sports medicine 1, and sports medicine 2. Liam is a senior who is actively involved in NHS and Soups Troops. After high school, he would like to continue his education and pursue a degree in the medical field to become an orthopedic surgeon. Wow. His dream school would be to attend Ohio State University for his undergraduate degree. That's great. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing Sophia. I didn't see Sophia from the high school, or Marin. They weren't here last time, but okay. Just want to make sure that you're not here this evening. Didn't want to overlook anyone. All right, well, that concludes our awards, but before we move over to the cafeteria, I just want to take a moment to, number one, recognize our staff members that are here this evening in support of your children. So if you're a staff member, please raise your hand. Thank you. Appreciate you being here in support of your students. And also, a well-deserved round of applause to our caregivers, our family members, our parents who help support our students. It's not a coincidence that they end up here just by chance. So whatever you are doing at home, please continue. We're very proud of your students, as are, I'm sure, all of you. So a round of applause to all of you. All right, so now we are going to head over to across the hall, as we heard from Ms. Schrader, and follow those directions. And those adult recipients, we're going to get your pictures first. So if we can head on over. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Good?
No, go ahead.
Art, is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, we have, next up on our agenda is our presentation.
Heather?
Good evening, everybody. Okay, this is what I need to get used to. I would like to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to the Board of Education for your support in establishing the role and my position of Gifted Intervention Specialist. Your commitment to meeting the diverse needs of all students has made it possible for us to take significant steps in developing a gifted program that challenges and nurtures our advanced learners. In just a short time, we have made meaningful progress in supporting and enriching the experiences of our gifted learners. This would not have been possible without your vision, trust, and investment in ensuring that every child receives an education that fosters their potential. Tonight, I'm excited to share the progress we've made, the impact we are already seeing, and the opportunities ahead as we continue building a program that reflects the excellence of our district. This presentation will highlight key initiatives, student impact, and the exciting next steps as we continue to grow and refine our support for gifted learners. So without further ado, I'd like to take you on a journey to our Honors ELA. We have reintroduced this program for 6th through 8th graders, and it's exciting because we have a lot of students that are being impacted by our honors classes. We have 4 sections of 8th grade, 3 sections of 7th grade, 3 sections of 6th grade, for a total of 202 enrolled students in honors ELA classes. The cool thing about this is not only are we adding rigor to our gifted students, but we also have our high achievers rolled into this as well, because we have a rubric that we use that is looking at data points of all our high learners. And even more exciting is some of the curriculum pieces that we're seeing in the honors classes are trickling down into the general education classes as well. So, some of those highlights that I'd like to look at tonight are, first of all, our DeBama Theater and Marilyn Bianchi Kids Playwriting Festival. So this was really a cool experience for our honors classes. We had the DeBama Theater actors come into our honors 8th grade classes, and they talked kids through playwriting. They got them up and moving. There was a lot of creativity going on in the classroom. There were 4 workshops that they ran. And the culminating piece of that is that our students are writing plays. So the competition, I believe, I think the deadline's like in a week or 2. So it's coming up. They haven't finished. But they had the opportunity of either writing an individual play, writing a collaborative play with their peers, or writing a play with the whole class. So there's a combination of things going on in our 8th grade classes between the 2 middle schools, and hopefully we'll have some fantastic products. And even more exciting is that they picked 10 plays in the Northeast Ohio region, and of those 10 plays, they produced them live theater. So if our students win, we will see a production, which is even, so fingers crossed, right? In addition to the DeBama Theater, we also had the Roots of American Music singer-songwriter residency, and this was sponsored by the Maltz Museum. This was a 2-prong enrichment piece. First, we had singer-songwriters come into our classrooms and create songs with our classes. This was for 7th and 8th grade. And the songs were reflective of this quote, which I am going to share with you. "Despite all the troubles of our world, in my heart I have never given up on the love in which I was brought up in life. Just as on the artist's palette, there is but one single color that gives meaning to life and art, the color of love." So students were supposed to reflect on this quote and come up with a song that was reflective of this, and basically their action towards stopping hate. So each of the classes produced a song. It was recorded and sent to a competition. Unfortunately, we did get results. We didn't win. But we still have that recording, and that's something that we've created. And they will use those recordings for future classes as examples. Additionally, our students also participated in a writing contest, which we're still waiting on results for. But that was also based on the same prompt with the idea of what types of actions and how can we be bystanders or upstanders and not bystanders. So that's pretty much our enrichment that's in the classrooms. I'm going to have you back it up. Sorry about that. We also have Power of the Pen, which I know we've talked about before. I've talked with Mrs. White about this, and our kids have done a fantastic job. So we had 8 eighth graders participate. There were 6 in a team, and we had 2 alternates, and then we had 3 7th graders that also participated. Of those kids, 4 of them are going on to regionals, which is this Saturday. Go ahead, you could fast forward it. And our students that are moving forward are Ben, Hayden, Avery, and Brooklyn. And so fingers crossed that we're going to go on to states. They're phenomenal writers. They just hit the ground running, and I'm so proud of them. Okay, so let's move down real quickly to our elementary grades. This year, we have introduced the 24 math recess bunch. And essentially, this is a card game of fluency and strategy, too. So students are presented with a card that has 4 numbers on it, and they have to figure out how those 4 numbers can get to 24 using all of the numbers, any operation, as quickly as they can. And the trick is, well, I don't know, I haven't mastered the tricks yet, but there could be a number of combinations. So you do have to be a little strategic and see how fast you can get, and there's certain patterns that the kids have to kind of, commit to memory. One of the things that I tell the kids is that if they know their factors of 24, if they can find one factor, cover up one factor, the other 3, they need to get the other 3 to the factor as quickly as they can. So, I mean, there is a little bit of strategy, lots of practice. But I've had 75 students participate from the elementary schools. And typically what I do is I'm there every other week so that I can bounce around between all the schools. And I'm there from, during recess and lunch. So they come with their lunches. Sometimes they come during recess, especially when the weather's bad. It's a perfect opportunity to really hone our skills. So in order for that to happen, we need we need older leaders. So I've also been recruiting 7th and 8th grade students to be our math gurus and our math leaders. They also are learning the game, and the intent is that when the tournament rolls around, which I'll talk about in a minute, they will be at the tables as the table leaders to navigate and make sure the kids are kind of staying on task, be the ones to determine whether or not the answer is correct, and maybe who taps the card first. So I think they're having just as much fun with this game as the little kids. But I have about 12 7th and 8th graders involved in that program. So in order to make this happen, I obviously have to have some teacher collaboration. So 24 began with me going into the elementary schools and teaching the math classes how to play the game. And the teachers have been fantastic. They've been excited about it. They've been encouraging. If I may have a student who was, maybe a little on the fence, they're kind of pushing them along, like, you should go and play with, Math 24 with Mrs. Balco. So that's been really helpful, and I appreciate that. And then at the middle school level, yeah, they were good. We also have had a lot of collaboration through our curriculum. We began over the summer writing the curriculum, and we've been tweaking it as we go throughout the year, and just trying to refine our pieces. We also, the teachers have been very welcoming with allowing me to come into the classroom, and I've just begun poetry writing workshops, which I am starting with the 7th grade. I hope to get into the 8th grade and then move down to the elementary levels just once or twice before April rolls around, because April's Poetry Month, and with Poetry Month we have a poetry challenge, which I'll talk about later. I've also been introducing some gifted PD models with the teachers as well. So the collaboration is something that I've been trying to build as much as possible. For the high school, I've been partnering with Dr. Wilfong. She has been in the AP and honors classes, and I usually tag along, and I'm kind of like on the back end, and I'm like, hey, we can do these level up activities also, and I've been adding some level up activities for all the subject areas. So, and also, I know I'm trying not to talk too long here. I'm long-winded though. Anyhow, resources for teachers were a piece of my my goals to have wrapped in for the year. And we have Google Classrooms for both the elementary and the middle school levels. And within those classrooms, there are resources for the teachers to use. They're hands-on, they can use them right away. There are gifted PD models and just things like how to incorporate PBLs or various project-based learning activities. A lot of creativity options there too. Go ahead. And this is just an example of some of the things that are on the Google Classrooms, general strategies. I have a section for math and then for ELA and reading, PD, and I think I had some interesting AI tools that I had found. I'd gone to a conference and put those links up there for teachers to experiment with as well. And then I also have resources for families. At your tables, you will see the gifted newsletter. That's the second edition. I had one out in December, and those are also on the website. I've been trying to add more resources to our website for teachers, for parents and families to go to. And here's an example. So I think I snapped this shot before I put the second edition up, but there's 2 editions of the gifted newsletter up there. And there's also a video and another slideshow, so there's some more resources for people to go to. And finally, coming up with our gifted events. In January, I did a virtual event for high school. It was geared towards high school and 8th grade parents, basically trying to guide our families in their selection and helping their students select classes for high school. You know, what's the difference between AP and CCP and how we can blend those two to make the most robust pathway for our gifted learners. And that is posted on the website for anybody that didn't see it. Our gifted advisory committee has been rolling. We've had 2 meetings and we will have another one in the spring. And upcoming is a gifted family night for elementary and middle school. It's divided, the first half is for elementary, the second half for middle school. And then as I mentioned, at 24, well, we have a culminating activity, which is the 24 math tournament, which will be on April 5th at the high school in the cafeteria. And so hopefully that'll be a success. And new this year, WEPS for high school kids, honors, AP, CCP students, all of those students are being served through their WEPS, or through those courses on their WEPS. Honors ELA. We've also just finished our Iowa Algebra Aptitude Test, which helps us determine students' readiness for algebra, so we can be pushing kids to reach those higher levels with a little bit more rigor. And that was a screen that was for all of our kids, so hopefully we'll catch kids that we might have missed. And the cool thing for this year is that we've had 424 written education plans sent out, which is phenomenal. So that's where we were. This is where we're going. Hopefully in April, my intent is to get the poetry challenge up and running for middle school, high school, possibly elementary school. I'm gonna kind of see how the teachers are feeling about that. And then the young authors is what I'd like to launch in April for our 3rd through 5th graders. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for your advocacy and your dedication to our students. Does anybody have questions for me? I know, I was just like, blah. I was told 15 minutes.
I'm Mrs. Hausen. I want to be clear, it was Mrs. Hausen.
No, just thank you for just sharing all of that. That's just some incredible work there, and it's ensuring the more challenging the students without overwhelming them in some fun ways here. So
Yeah, I'm hoping to make it as creative,
Right.
offer those creativity options.
That's great. That's great.
And the arts there.
Yeah.
And the kids they've been really receptive. They're very excited, so
Good.
makes
That's
me happy.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I just wanted to comment, I saw this when it came out, and was reading it. No, it was great online, but just, I appreciate so much all the information for the parents and, especially the gifted students and perfectionism that you put on there. I like that you're incorporating that social and emotional wellness for the gifted students as well, because I think sometimes that's a piece that's overlooked for those students, and it is a big piece.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, for those gifted students as well. So thank you for everything you're doing. Mr. Gomez, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Just thank you for the presentation and all you're doing to reach our students, as we say, differentiation and personalization. intervention goes both ways.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
absolutely.
Thank you very much. Brings us to item E, Treasurer CFO's Business Consent Agenda. Ms. Stickley.
Thank you. I'd like to recommend the Board of Education approve all items listed in the treasurer's consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a number of them. A couple minutes. Amended appropriations to square up. We received those final auxiliary payments from the state, and so, one of our non-publics had more students than they did in previous years, so, that's the reason for the increase. We have our amounts and rates, certification, which we do every year, and then send to the county. We have our, financial recovery plan that we, went over last meeting. This will be sent then to ODE, and then, they will approve it, and then once that is, and most likely at the March 19th meeting, we will approve that forecast, that matches this, then. And then last but not least, our donations, birdie bags, some other, things from a gift basket, some Panda Express, and lots of good things, so, thankful for those. And I think that is it under there.
Any questions or comments? Stokely, please call the roll.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye. Item F is CFO's business. Ms. Stokely.
Thank you. I'd like to recommend the Board of Education approve the January 2025 investment schedule and monthly spending report.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. A couple of things. So we will start with our interest. Another good month, albeit most of it was in our non-general fund accounts, because this is the time of year we have lower balances there, but a good month for, our construction funds, that we have out there. We got a little bit over 350,000. Looking at the general fund, this is where you'll see, again, this is a month very similar to December, not a lot of revenue coming in. And then you can see that there that we were down to about 4.5 million. We have started receiving those advancements here in February, from the county for the first half tax advance. So, you'll see that start to go back up, come next month. And then I think this one, let me look, this is the month. Okay, and then in the athletics, just to like circle back to that, since we talked about last, month, some things being in transit, and it appeared that they were in the negative, but really it was just more of a timing thing. You'll see that they are back in the positive, as we've remedied some of those things, and, just double check that everything was coming out of the right place where it was supposed to. And then finally, I gotta remember which one this is. On the COPS, Red Tree, Mr. Gomez had asked a question, about the realized gains and losses on that document. And so I just wanted to, talk about that real quick and why there's a realized loss per se. Not really a loss but this is how it is broken down on here. So basically what it boils down to, so these were, it was an item that was a portfolio municipal bond that, matured in January. And so, what happened is the yield ended up being less than the coupon. So, when that happens, there's a realized loss from the difference in that purchase amount to what par was. I don't wanna get like too in the weeds. But for this, it was, we had $1 million par, and the purchase amount was $1,004,270. So the holding itself, throughout the course of the time we had it, earned almost $55,000 in interest. And so even once that premium loss there is accounted for, we still received over $50,000 from that bond in interest. But that premium has to be accounted for somehow. And so it shows up as that lump sum loss, but there's no actual loss to us because we received well over that in interest.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you for explaining that. I had one question, just kind of proactively looking towards the summer. With our food service, is the new program we're doing, the SUN program that was mentioned in the notes, do you know is that accounted for differently on our finances? Like, how is that
all
funded?
that
It's the
stuff will
same?
it'll still, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if somehow that was
I believe
how those funds were accounted
it's
for.
kind of similar to like the summer programs,
Okay.
and how they're run, but I'd have to look again at the notes and see, cause I
Right.
vaguely, but I don't know all the details.
Okay, I just, because it was top of mind because it was in the notes that we had, so. Okay, awesome. Okay, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Brings us to item G, Superintendent CEO's Business Consent Agenda. Dr. Zelik?
Thank you. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve the items as listed in the consent agenda.
So moved. Bless you.
Second.
Comment?
Yes.
Comments? Okay,
Yes.
thank you. All right. This evening, we have a few things here. Relative to personnel, we have a bus driver, which is always exciting to see, right? A food service assistant, some coaching positions for the spring. We also have a sub bus and van person, again, exciting to see. We have some volunteers for softball and baseball. We have some leaves of absences. I might note the obvious, so your superintendent is on that list. It's actually, the dates are not completely accurate because I'm going to use sick time, FMLA, and vacation time, so I will be out beginning Monday through April 7th. So, and I have a letter actually going out to the parents this evening, and actually it went out, just explaining why and who will be in charge, which will be Mrs. Hausman. We also have job descriptions for our kitchen and cafeteria managers. One of them is new, the kitchen position, and the cafeteria is just some revisions as we merge into our new school. We also have some stipends for our third grade after-school tutoring, so we're pleased to be able to offer that. Trying something again different in reaching our students who are struggling for our third grade proficiency, not proficiency test, but in proficiency. And we have some new, the new teacher that we hired last board meeting, I believe, or the meeting before, has to be approved so she could receive her stipend. That's why you see her on there. She hasn't done the work yet, but in the event that she finishes her science of reading, she'll get her stipend. And then we have a Raptor contract there for your consideration, and that is kind of a pilot. It's a WIT for the panic buttons that Ryan spoke of to you before, and it's no cost to us, but we are going to pilot and see how it goes. We've applied for a grant to see if we can fund those district-wide, whereas on their badges or similar, we'll have a button that they can press, and it'll immediately alert the office and police.
Yeah,
or
and also notify where they are in the building, so it gives some real precise proximity to where the emergency, not just in the building, but it's in classroom 12.
And this is, I know it's no cost to us. At what point then would we decide if that was something that we wanted to do?
So we'll look at, first we want to make sure the technology, they're still developing the technology, so they're planning to go to market when it's ready. We're helping them get the product ready to market in exchange for us to use it for free. We'll wait really on the Ohio Attorney General's grant that we've applied for. If we get the grant
as I saw that there were more grants. I don't know how you guys have time to do anything else, all the grants that
We do a
you're
good job.
constantly writing. But thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Great. Ms. Stokely, would you call the roll, please?
Yes. Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
And H, Superintendent CEO's business. Dr. Self.
Okay, thank you very much. Unfortunately, I do have a few comments, just because I am going out, I feel as though I should say a number of things before I depart. One, I want to point out, we have some students here this evening from our CTE program. Kennedy's a Soups Troops. Kennedy, raise your hand. Kennedy's one of my Soups Troops, and her friends. This is for your, the elementary, for the teaching program, is that right? Is that what, okay, I thought so. So aspiring teachers.
Awesome.
So we have some to choose from there, right? And I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to say hello to everyone in the commotion that are our guests that are here from Silver Lake, Mayor and Ms. Garrett, right? Is that right? Okay, and I'm not sure. Okay, all right, sorry, thank you. I just wanted to say hello because I didn't get a chance to do so. I also want to recognize a couple of folks here, one at the table, one on the computer. Mr. Gomez received the Master Board of Education member award, and also for his STAR service. If you recall, the STAR went through all of that, so he earned that recognition, and I will be unable because I'll be on leave, but I will not be able to go to that dinner, so I apologize for that. And then Mrs. White, I believe you're being recognized for 10 years of service.
No.
So congratulations to you as well. All right.
Thank you.
We also had some good news on our student front. We had the bridge competition. You may have seen that. They took first, second, and third place. So we're going to have, I believe next month, we're waiting for all the different sporting events to run their course so we could try to get them in for recognition. So you'll be seeing some students come through. We have wrestlers that have qualified for state. Our bowling team is going to state. So just some good things that you'll be able to see happening. And then I wanted to point out that so I'm handing off some projects to Mrs. Hausman, again, who will have no problem stepping in. She's done this before, so I have no doubt that she'll do very well, as will my supporting cast here. We had a meeting today, so we all know what we'll be working on while I'm gone. But the preschool, so you voted on some items, but we have been meeting regularly about preschool. And as a reminder, by taking over the program, we will either save money, definitely break even, if not have a savings, but while that wasn't our complete necessarily goal, we believe we'll offer some great services for our preschool students, but she'll be working on that. And you saw the handbook, we made some revisions. The woman that we've contracted with has been really helpful in guiding us through that process. So I know she will continue the good work there, as will Ms. Zeman. They've been working on that together, so I appreciate their efforts on that. And then we put out our moving document. I don't know if you saw that, our planning document with all the dates we listed. Some of them are tentative. I will say this, we met today with our construction folks, and they're having a difficult time organizing as many tours that we would like to see. And the reason is they're getting tight on their time frame. We're on target, but the disruption they do believe in Saturdays. They'll be coming in and doing overtime, because we offered, like we said, can we do Saturdays, can we do evenings? They actually would rather us have small groups going through during the day, is what we learned today, because it doesn't disrupt them. But our plan for students and things, we're gonna have to play that by ear. I know the request was to have staff come in this spring. We have a plan for maybe spring break, where we can organize and have people sign up 1 hour at a time. We'll do groups of 10 or something. But how we wanted to do maybe a Saturday morning for people, I'm not sure that that's gonna happen. But we are trying, and I have to be mindful of the work that they're trying to do, and I know how we get when people disrupt our work sometimes too. So, but that's been moving along. We've been providing a lot of information for our staff, our families, just trying to get ahead of everything. So we got a lot of time, a lot of dates on the calendar for parents, staff, to see the buildings and to be part of listening sessions and open houses, etc. Then we have the strategic plan, so you will get an update on that Well, actually, we'll get you a draft of that document that you have seen, but based on the feedback that you gave us last time, our team met today for a couple of hours and we plowed through it and addressed, we think, every one of your needs, and if not, certainly let us know, but we'd like to, in the next couple of weeks, shore that up, and I've asked Mrs. Hausman to take that on and share it with Jeff, and then I would encourage them to give us a mock-up of what we'd like to see, at least see what they're going to do, but if you have suggestions, I don't need them now, but if you can think about what format you would like to see, if you have a vision for that, if you could share that, so she could share that with Jeff, that'd be helpful. And then,
I'm sorry.
oh, yes,
The
please.
as far as format, for us or for the community?
What
For
you'd
the
like to see for the
students.
community.
Okay.
Mhm. Typically, what ends up happening with this is we have a more specific working document for our group, and then the public doesn't want to see every detail of our work. So we give them typically the goals, the action steps, a little bit of action steps, because that can get, long-winded. People want to see the big points that we're working on. And that's pretty consistent among all districts. But you can give us that direction, however you'd like to see it. It's your plan. And then lastly, I just want to say, this is the last thing on my list anyway, but the naming rights, we've been working on that. I will have an update for you as well. I don't want to really say who's committed, just because, we haven't completely finalized details, but we do have a few partners, which I'm really excited about, and I was able to meet with Diana Colavecchio, who was extremely helpful. As always, we have a great working relationship. She's very supportive and helpful to us. So she's putting me in touch with some folks that she's going to talk to some people. I'm going to talk to some. I met with some folks from a bank that also are really willing to help us and put me in touch with some folks. So while I'm laying in my bed for the next few weeks, I will be making calls to people to see if I can get in touch with some of them. But so we're excited. We have some donors, and not our big ticket items yet, but we're working on it. So I'm sorry that was a lot, but I feel as though you should probably know what, and I'll send you an update of the things I'll be working on when I'm not supposed to be working. Thank you.
It has not gone unnoticed by the board, all the work that you have been doing to get ready to leave.
I'm exhausted. I'm gonna need a break.
Wink, wink, and a signing.
Thank you
What's
for
that, Michelle?
everything
Oh,
that
yeah.
you've been doing.
And a signing.
And a signing, and a right. They love it. They love it.
Yes, so thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
being
Planning
proactive, but we hope that you take the time that you need for rest and recovery.
Thank you.
While you're off. Thank you. Item I is board business. Number 1 is the license agreement for the Missing Mountain Brewing Company. It is recommended that the Board of Education approves the license agreement between Missing Mountain Brewing Company LLC and the Cuyahoga Falls School District.
So moved.
Second.
Does anyone have any more discussion that they would like to have about Missing Mountain and this contract? I know that questions were asked, and I think that Mr. Bugatti answered the majority of, or all, actually, questions that the board members had in regards to the contract. Is there any more
Thank you,
discussion?
Mr. Bugatti, for going back and forth with Keith on that to get those questions answered for us, so.
And if I may, are you representing Missing Mountain? I thought so. I haven't met you, but okay. Okay, thank you.
Yes. Welcome. Okay, no,
I
did. Yes.
Well, I'm not there, so I can't vote this evening. I would just reference my comments 2 meetings ago, and were I present able to vote, I would be voting no on this item, because I don't believe it's in the best interest of our district at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. Any more discussion before we vote?
And I also wanted to say, from 2 meetings ago, my concern, and I've gone back and forth with this as well, that I've had some concerns with a brewery sharing, having a sign like Cuyahoga Falls City Schools and brewery, that does make me feel a little bit anxious. I'm not sure that I feel 100% comfortable. I know that it's a family restaurant, and I understand, but the sign will say Cuyahoga Falls, on the same sign will say Cuyahoga Falls City School District, and then it will say and brewery on the same sign. So that does make me feel a little bit uncomfortable. So I would like to be a good, a good neighbor and a good community member, but it does make me feel uncomfortable for the district, so.
Anyone else? Ms. Stokely, could you please call the roll?
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
No.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 2 is our out-of-state field trip for our 8th grade students. It is recommended that the Board of Education approves the out-of-state field trip for the 8th grade students to go to Washington, D.C.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
It's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Everyone loves the DC trip, huh?
It's an exciting thing that an opportunity for our students to go every year and experience that, so. And for some of our students, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity,
Right.
so. Great. Ms. Stokely, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Harris?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye. Great. Item 3 is just the first reading for the preschool handbook that everyone has. And 4 is also a first read for the elementary school. And item 5 is the first reading for the secondary school handbooks as well. Item 6 is our policy for our first read. Do I need to state those policies for a first read?
You should.
First read of Section B, School Board Government and Operations, BDC Executive Sessions, Section 1, Instruction, and C, ING, Animals in Schools, ING-R, Animals in the Schools, and Section J is Students, JFG-R, Interrogations and Searches. And I believe those are just all updates to the current policies that we have in place that are required.
Yes, mostly,
So-
and then I would just add the executive session one is, definitely legal. The animals in school, we did have, some revisions there, put in a little bit of extra work beyond some of the, updates, but, and interrogation searches is, as it relates to the current environment, we wanna make sure that our policies reflect, if our children should be approached by law enforcement, making sure that we're in compliance with the law.
Thank you. Item 7 is a policy rescission. It is recommended that the Board of Education rescinds the following policy. Section A, Foundations and Basic Commitments, the ACAB, Student and Staff Gender Identity and Expression.
So moved.
Second.
Board discussion. Mr. Gomez, I know that you wanted to open the discussion on this.
Thank you, Ms. Coco. Yes, I just want to say thank you to all my board members who have supported this policy throughout its life in our district. With the passage of the state's passage of the bathroom bill, we have to rescind this policy, as this policy is a direct violation of the state's bathroom bill, because it specifically allows transgender students to utilize bathrooms that are not of their sex as designated at birth. And as all of us on the board know, when we were sworn in, we took an oath to uphold all the laws now in effect and thereafter to be executed. So we have the obligation to follow the laws of the state of Ohio, regardless of sometimes what we believe is in the best interest of our district for our students. So by rescinding this policy, we will be in accordance with state law. But the one thing I want to note is we waited the full 90 days because once the governor signs a law, there's 90 days before it goes into law. So we waited that full 90 days to give our students as much time as possible to exercise their rights under this policy, as well as for our staff to work with effective student groups on pathways going forward to make sure that their dignity is respected.
Thank you, Mr. Gomez. And I would just like to echo what Mr. Gomez has said, that we are sworn to uphold the law, and so this is something that we have to do, and we are committed to keeping our students safe in this district and to feel welcomed. And yes, that's all I have to say. Anyone else?
I mean, I'll say, seeing that, we knew it was coming, but seeing that in our Friday notes and seeing the policy and all the work that went into that, Mr. Gomez, Ms. White put into that, and seeing every word struck was kind of an emotional moment for me. I don't care if it's the entire student body, one student. Again, we got to follow the law, whether or not we agree with what's coming out of Columbus. I would say, though, I invite our state representatives, I invite our state senators to attend some of our board meetings, especially tonight, to see the hard work, and where we honored some of our top students tonight. We honored some of the most hardworking staff members we have. Mr. Belby, who's working for this district outside of our school buildings, so they can see the faces of the folks we see every day. Because like I said, I don't care if it's every student or if it's one student. This is hurtful, and again, we're going to do what we need to follow this, but it's something that is pretty upsetting. So.
I agree wholeheartedly, and I don't like it one bit that we have to rescind this policy, because I feel very strongly that we are for every student, every day. That is our mission and our vision, and it's just, it's a stupid law, though, whatever. I just do not like this. I will vote to rescind because we have to legally, but I don't like it one bit. As a teacher here, every kid that was in my room were mine. They were mine. I don't care what they looked like. I don't care how they dressed. I don't care what color. If they were shorter than me, which no one was, but if they were taller than me, that was great too. I didn't care, and I still don't. I don't think it matters. It's how kind and compassionate and hardworking and dedicated a person is that makes all the difference in being a good, kind, decent person. So I really object to doing this. I know we have to, but I do not like it one bit.
Mr. Hoy, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Schaefer? Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Harrison?
Aye.
Item 8 is discussion on the future of facilities. After our presentation from Ms. Stolkoy at our last board meeting, we had decided as a board member that it was really important to start the discussions as a board, and the only way that we can or will ever have those is open at our board meetings for transparency. And so we are starting that this evening in regards to the possibility of the closing of one of our elementary buildings. What all that entails as far as a board, what kind of information we need to make the decision on if that's that's the route that we're going to be going as a board and making that decision. And also have a discussion on how we would like to engage our community as a whole, as we understand that this decision, if and when it's made, is going to impact our families, our stakeholders, our students in very real and tangible ways. And they deserve a seat at the table to voice not only their opinions, but suggestions as well, because we know that we are not the powerful beings that know all, and we welcome anyone who has an input and is a part of this community. So that's the beginning of our discussions this evening. Is we know that it will be going ongoing throughout the next months as we look towards a decision that we would have to make one way or another. By November is Dr. Selico's timeline, would be a good time for us to have that decision made. So we know there's going to be a lot of discussions, but this is the first of many that we're having. So Mr. Gomez, I'm going to turn it over to you. If you would like to open it up, I know that you have some ideas about community engagement to start with, and then we can kind of follow in with that as well.
Thank you, Ms. Coco. Yeah, the most important thing to me is engaging the community in this, because whatever we decide, I believe two things. The entire community will be impacted by this, and the community needs to be at the table with us throughout this process. So what I would like to propose is that as we are working towards what data we need, which I know is something you want to touch on, but in the fall, I would like us to set a meeting at each elementary school where we start by discussing why we're even discussing elementary schools, why we're even discussing the possibility of closing one. Give that general data, and then at each school speak specifically about that school's data relevant to that, based on whatever data we feel is needed. Because I am not interested in a process that starts with a conclusion in mind. I'm not interested in a process that says, these are the schools we're looking at. I can make an argument for or against any one of our buildings being the one that we look at. So unless the process includes looking at all of 6 of our elementary schools, I don't believe it's a fair, equitable, and just process. I think our process needs to include all 6 schools. And if through that process, we can transparently, through the community, say, okay, for whatever reason, this one, we can't close for X, Y, Z reason, then that's fair. But I don't think that we should go into this saying that this one's untouchable, but this one is. Because to me, that's not transparency. And that's I think, going to make it an even more difficult decision, because then we haven't given everyone all of the data when we get to a point where we might be making a decision. So I believe that we have to start with all 6, which I fully appreciate is more work, but I think a decision like this deserves that amount of work, that amount of effort. And for me personally, I need to see all of that data for every building and to be able to compare it. And I think for our community, they deserve that information as well. So that's what I'm looking at. If then, after we go through all 6, it comes down to maybe there's 3 that we say, okay, it doesn't make sense for these 3. These 3 maybe we need to have deeper discussions about, then maybe we go back to those 3 as well. But to me, that's the best way to do it. I don't think having those meetings in the library at the high school is the best either. We should go to the buildings
I would agree wholeheartedly. I think we need to meet at each building and make a date for the community in that area to come and listen to the data, the financial and the school data itself. And I think that we have to look at things like the acreage, the age of the buildings, the number of staff, students, so on, but also the geography, like where are they? And how far, are our students going to travel? I want to know the cost of renovation and building new.
Mrs.
And
White, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you read that slowly? I'm trying to
Oh.
capture our notes.
Oh,
I would like to hear,
okay.
you have great ideas, but
Sorry, I'm
I
going
can't type that
fast.
fast.
Okay.
So can you please, I heard acreage, I heard age of, because
Yes.
we're talking about data, but that's very vague, so I need to know
Yes.
specifics of what you're going to require. So
Okay.
acreage, age of buildings?
And the acreage, right, and the geography, where they're located, so that we're not having one way over here and maybe one over there, and none around. I just think
Like a
north,
bird's eye
east,
view.
west, south
Yeah.
is
Like a
something
bird's
we
eye
need
view of
to
the city.
think of when we do this. Not only that, I'd like to also know what it would cost to renovate, build new, which ones could we renovate, which ones would we have to build new, and how many buildings do we need? 3, 4, 5? Are we rethinking the makeup of them? Are we gonna do K-5? Are we gonna do K-3, 4, 5 and preschool? So we need to think about that, because right now our preschool is in Schnee, but could it be elsewhere at a different building? So I want to look at all of that, but I wholeheartedly agree with Mr. Gomez. We need to meet at each building and have the community attend to not only hear our financial, I don't know what to.
Predicament.
Thank you. To see where we are as a district, but also, each building and, how maybe we could do this and look at that and really engage the community. I think that's very important. I grew up here, so I know the connections that we all have to certain schools. My children, my grandchildren all went, so whatever we do, it's probably gonna hurt, and I know that. But I also know our finances are not looking too good either in the future, so,
No, this is absolutely, thank you, Ms. White. Mr. Gomez, when you were talking about the community and I agree, going and meeting them where they're at and at those buildings, at all 6 buildings. And the proposal to do this in the fall or after schools would return, which would be in August, early September, I'm assuming. Would we need, if we're collecting all this data and we're going to them with this data, I guess my question is, do we want to somehow engage our community in the collection of data? Like, what would they like to see us make our decision on? I know, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, what do they need to hear from us that we maybe aren't thinking of to make these decisions? Do they have suggestions of other data that we could be collecting? And how could we do
That's a
that?
great point, and I think, I can see Ms. Stewart from where my computer's set.
Yes.
You can see you.
I think the reality is we would need like a landing page on our website where we place all of these presentations after we go to each building as well. Because we need to do this in the most transparent way, because there's gonna be questions and there's gonna be people that can't come to the meetings and they're gonna want the data, or there's gonna be people that come to the meetings and get the data but wanna go back and refer to it. So, yeah, there's some way to capture that. I think we all know we got a very thoughtful email this afternoon with some data points to consider, but I think there also were things in there that all of us are thinking about as well, things that we want to consider as well. So I think engaging the community on the forefront is a great idea as well.
If there would be some way for them to be able to submit a form with, feedback, questions,
Prior to these meetings?
prior to the meeting, so that we would be able to capture and get everything that they asked or wanted or needed from us. And they may have ideas of other data that we would not even think of ourselves that may be important in making these decisions, so. That's my suggestion, as an add-on to that.
That's a good idea. Ms.
what
White,
is that?
Ms. White, you mentioned a bunch of pieces of data that would be important to this. And I know we have some of this, like enrollment data, some trends past the future, what that would look like. And I think you mentioned, the cost of maintaining the buildings, transportation, stuff like that, so.
Actually, I didn't, but that's a good,
Yeah,
those are good
okay, yeah,
thoughts. Yeah,
yeah.
thank you.
A lot to start with. Is that a pretty
Yeah.
long list?
that's a
Do you need
lot.
clarification
Um,
on any of those?
Well, I mean, I have a couple thoughts. One is probably maybe some other ideas of data that would help, but also selfishly but realistically, timing. We are concentrating a lot of our time and effort opening this new school. And so you heard the list of things we're working on. I'm selfishly a little nervous about the 6 meetings and compiling. We can get the data for you, but 6 evenings, and we will absolutely do this approach. I just need to figure out timing of the team and how we can be realistic in providing you with the resources you needed. And this is gonna take a lot of time, and we wanna do it well. So I wanna be able to give it our all. So we just need to think about timing, cause I am a little nervous about that. Strategic plan, preschool, opening the new schools, all those things happening. So we just have to be careful,
So do we have to do this by this coming November, or could it wait a little bit after
I mean, there's
that
no
time?
specific time frame. I mean, if the board is considering this, obviously the when would be a question, is that, it's obviously not next school year, is what
No,
I've heard.
right.
So is it the following, is it the following,
Okay.
what year is that? So depending, if we were to do it the following year, consider that, then, I mean, for me, I would want to allow ample time for families to adjust, to plan what that looks like. We would have to redistrict. I mean, there's, again,
Yeah.
with this comes a lot of work, so.
Well, I was thinking that since we're opening the new building, and it will be opened in January,
Yes, it will.
so I was thinking maybe in that spring, we could do the meetings. I don't know if that's too late, though, to do that, but might help.
I think it would that may be late
Okay.
if it's that year that you're considering, but if we're transparent with the community, as we are committed to doing, that if it's a possibility, people would know that it's a possibility, and if you were to do it in spring, it seems kind of late, and I personally wouldn't want to wait that long either. I appreciate you
Okay.
being considerate of our,
Well,
of our efforts, but.
Is it at all realistic for us to gather data from the community of what they would like, like any suggestions from them, get this? Is it at all realistic to think that we could do that before the end of the school year? That is a crazy short timeline.
I mean, it's not, like, putting a survey out in a Google Doc and gathering the information is not a
I would
challenge.
prefer to do that now rather
Yeah.
than.
While they're engaged
September,
right now.
Because we're also going to be
Yes.
planning a ribbon
Right.
cutting and the final Clifford Stadium farewell and.
Yeah.
And I think the earlier,
So-
and the sooner the better as
Yeah.
far as collecting feedback from the community. That would be beneficial to do now.
Yeah, because that might
And-
even, once we see their feedback, that might provide another avenue, like, you might be like, oh, they're totally thinking in a different
Right,
way,
yeah.
and we can really kind of personalize how we present information.
Okay.
It's very easy for me to do that.
I was just trying to give you a little more time.
But
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I'll do it whenever you need me to, so.
I mean, probably the best time for us, I don't even know this to be true, and I can look at my folks here, but I don't know if summer is the time. However, we lose touch with parents in the summer.
That's,
We can certainly put messages out, but, and we get people that, we can communicate with them, but I don't know, that's a downtime, and I don't know if we have enough time to prepare all the data before then. Again, so I need to ask this question as well, because we may need to engage outside entities, to do this work. So an architect, an engineer, you know, so if I have permission to do so, it will come at a cost to the district, so I just need to be forthcoming on that. But it would be a bipartisan or nonpartisan, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but, you know, a kind of a neutral person coming in and giving us facts. So if that's the direction the board would allow me to do, then it's not so much on us, we tell them what we want and they go do the work. So for me, in going one step further with data, for example, it would be, and I think Mrs. White, I heard you say this, like, what's the cost to renovate? Now, we just engaged with, Tracy Healy, and they gave us projections for elementary, so we are now engaging with them for the second phase for a bond issue. Like, again, this is a couple years out, but you have to start a couple years before you're looking to do it. So we do have that information, but with that comes, they will do, as you know, the study. None of our buildings, in my experience, and I'm doing this several times now, will qualify under that 66% to renovate. I can tell you that right now, that it will cost more to renovate any one of those buildings than to build them, 66% of it to build new. So OFCC will not give us money to renovate. I mean, that's my prediction. I could say that pretty confidently.
Well, we have all those
We
from
have 'em now.
2018.
Yeah, we do, you're right.
And we have them for all the elementaries, and I don't know off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
it's the whole master facilities, and they're long documents with all the information about the buildings and acreage and this, its age and, all that kind of stuff, and then their assessment of that 66% or not.
Would we be able to kind of run down the list of, I think we're all in agreement, like Ms. White, and I know that we do have a lot of data. Would we be able to put together, these are the things that have been asked for that we don't have, and these are the things that we do have as far as data, and maybe how much it would cost? Not that we're not going to get the data, but is it one outside entity? Is it 3 different people that we have to pay to get this information? You know, that kind of.
Yeah, I can do a little research. Unfortunately, Mr. Brigatti is not here tonight. He's ill. But I'll pass the buck to Mrs. Hausman, who can speak with Mr. Brigatti about getting some of that
That's what happens
information.
when you're not here.
Yeah.
But I'm just afraid, I understand, Ms. Stoicoy, but that was 2018. It is now 2025, and we know COVID hit, and everything went up. And I think things are gonna go up again here real quickly. So I think that data might be a little old.
Well, what I was gonna say is I
I'm
don't
not-
think it's gotten any better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
If
No,
they
it
didn't
won't. It won't
qualify
be-
in
right.
2018,
I know,
I
I
think that's the
realize
point
that,
there,
but
yeah.
I still, that's kind of old.
We can certainly show it as a comparison. We
Okay.
know that those numbers will definitely
will.
be worse.
Yeah.
But I guess, I think what Mrs. Stoicoy was saying is that if, like in 2018, if it showed that they were 70% of the cost of renovating,
Yeah,
they didn't get better, so
I
we can
do.
assume.
It's not gonna get better.
And I haven't
right.
looked at those, cause that predates me, but I may have looked at those when I first arrived. I kinda recall that a little bit, but we certainly can look at that. They will not do that for free again, the facilities committee. We already checked on that. We're not far enough, we're not even started the process, so they won't do it for free for us to do that, close-up look. And that kinda ties into our strategic plan, that conversation the other night, you may recall, about engaging someone to do a detailed report in that. And speaking with Mrs. Stoicoy today, that was the goal of their strategic plan, area, was to engage someone who can give us that outlined information about each building, boilers, air, windows, blah, 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 blah. And so we know our buildings are all aged and need a lot of, all of them need work. So I think that would be certainly a place to start, and then, but again, knowing that that's engineers, that's architecture firms, that's, you know, Mr. Brigatti knows those folks, cause we spoke about it today. But OFCC will not do a free service for us.
Well, I think we have a starting point of where we want to go with the community, you know, the timing. I think if we can get a survey out as soon as possible, maybe put something together. If anyone has specific questions that you would like to have on that survey, you know, we can get those to Ms. Stewart,
Yep.
within the next week, maybe.
Are
Um,
you thinking that
but-
this survey needs to go out before spring break or April? Or,
I mean, I think the sooner, the better. I don't have a specific date in mind that it needs to
Sure.
go out, but I think as soon as we could come to agreement on what it needed to look like and what needs to go out, then we send it out, but
And I think the more
But-
important piece to that survey is the preface to it,
Yes.
right?
Literally,
Like,
Yes.
not-
what
Right.
are we've gotta,
What are we-
this is gonna
The
hit people
timing
like a
of
ton
it.
of bricks if
Yeah.
they haven't been following, and most,
right, I think there
as
needs
much
to
as
be
we wanna
some-
think people will listen
Is
to our
there-
videos,
Right, we're gonna have
we're
to
not
have some
we're
background.
not engaging
In
the community in this.
In the next roar going on, is there anything going on about like,
That's to press soon, I think, but, no.
are you putting
It'll
it
be
up?
similar to what was in kind of the Tiger Tales today, if you read it for staff. It's gonna kind of just go over that presentation that I did last time, and what some of our, you know, where we're at, and then what some of our potential options or things coming down the road are.
I don't think that we should necessarily send the survey out, that'll like predate then that, right?
I think we
Well,
should
that's
wait.
a
I
good
think we
idea.
should put that out first. Christine, what's
Put
the
the
timing of
roar
that? When is the roar
Mhm.
coming out?
it'll go to print in like around spring break and it'll probably be mailed to houses mid-April.
I mean, I think that's still okay.
Sequential.
I think we've gotta continue to inform, and we do a good job in Roar. We're always
Yeah.
providing
just makes
financial
sense.
updates, but I think, and I've asked Ms. Stoikling to kind of put a synopsis in of that because this is so critical what she presented, so.
So if,
Did a nice
if we knew that those were hitting mailboxes mid-April,
Uh-huh.
then we could have everything mailed down and ready to go to send out a survey like the week after that,
Okay.
within the week
And you
after
could
that.
even say in the roar, you know, there will be a survey online and a date that it will be there.
Now, do you want, for clarification, since, are you asking the whole community to come to these elementary meetings in the fall? Or are you just thinking families that attend those elementary, because the WARS goes, there's like
To everyone.
20,000 prints.
Yeah.
And not necessarily current.
They would be school board meetings, so they would be open at
They
one.
would, yeah,
Yeah,
they would have to,
I didn't
Yeah.
hear what
they'd
you
be
said.
school board meetings, so
I
they
didn't
would
catch
be
They would
open to
special
anybody.
meetings.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yes, it'd be like a special meeting,
So
I
then the
believe.
survey, we would open that up to the whole community then to get
Right.
their, okay.
I guess,
Yeah, I think that's good if you put in the Roar, like with a QR code that people can
yeah.
connect to the
agree.
survey and then
Connect to the
anyone
Roar,
can give in
yeah.
questions.
So I would almost have it out on have that survey connection out just in tandem right when those go out, because as soon as someone gets it in the mail, if they're reading it,
If they'll
and they're
want
trying to
them,
do the
yeah.
QR code, if it's not,
Do you want the
Available.
survey in the Roar?
the QR code.
The-
to
the-
survey,
I
yeah.
think like have
Just
it
a
on our
QR.
website and
The
then like a
QR
QR
Well,
code.
yeah, I'm sorry, that's what I mean,
Yeah.
a link to.
A link,
Yes, a
yeah.
link.
Yeah, right.
And then, okay.
And then we can always also send out and communicate to
Don't
our
do that.
families through
Parent Square.
Parent
Yes.
Square saying that this went out,
Yeah.
please.
Okay,
Please, we welcome your feedback.
okay.
I think that would be a good way to reach as many people as possible.
And on our last one we
So-
put out, people did give us feedback, like that reaches
Mm-hmm.
people.
Okay.
People have participated in those in the
Yeah.
past, so I think we will get people who will participate in those
Yeah.
through the Roar. Well, we'll take a stab at it and we'll give you some ideas and then you can certainly give us more feedback if we're not giving you enough or, you know, we'll convene and figure
Can
that
I
out.
ask another question, and I'm sorry if
Sure.
I'm beating a dead horse here. So, the concern was having all those meetings in the fall time-wise, and then we kind of discussed having some meetings over the summer, but that would be not really an appropriate time to engage because it's hard during summer.
Engage families.
Do you think that because it's such an important topic that it would be okay to do during, like, having some during summertime? Because if I were a parent and someone were like, hey, they might be closing your elementary school, but meet me in July, I probably would show up in July. But, I mean,
That's it. They
Yeah,
don't
and
have
I mean, because we always
vacations.
struggle in May, we don't get a good turnout in May either, so even
No.
while we're in school, because of,
So you
you
really
know,
think summer is not a great
baseball,
time? Okay.
softball starts,
Well,
I mean,
it's-
Well, that's true too.
Vacations and
yeah, it's hard.
kinda.
I think
Vacation.
for accessibility, if we can somehow involve.
Fall is very busy.
Lucas and record all of the meetings and have them available,
yeah.
through YouTube, so that they can see, so if childcare is an issue or something like that, they can,
Mhm.
not necessarily live, I mean, we like it to do it live.
Well,
I don't wanna.
hearing them is, hearing them is nice, but it's not the same as being there.
No, it's not,
Right.
it's not.
But I was, just one more way that we
Okay.
could make sure that if they can't be there, to be transparent.
And we can work as a,
And this is a wild
Or-
thought too, so with timing, what if we did like 2 shows a night? Like we went to like Price and Preston in one night, like, so we would be using, we'd have
traveling, as a
a traveling show. I mean,
Going on
like, just throwing that out there, just thinking about that for a second.
I was just talking to Dr. Selico about perhaps, I mean, I get the wanting to go to each 6 schools, but like you said, either maybe doing it like one at 6, one at 7, or 5:30 and then 7 or something like that, or doing them together.
long night,
I
but
mean,
it's one
they
night.
will have different questions, but I think even within one school, there's going to be people with all sorts of different questions or views. I don't know if maybe that's even something you want to put like as part of the survey. Like, would you prefer it be just
That's-
your building?
Actually,
that's,
that's a
that's
very good
actually,
One
Yeah.
big meeting
no,
with
that's actually a
everybody, or
great
would you
idea
prefer,
to
like,
put
2
that on the
schools at a
survey.
time?
If,
Just what
if,
people would attend more likely.
Well, I have a feeling
how,
they're
and
going to
how
go
about
long.
when would be
I think they'll go
the
long.
best
though.
time? Would you attend a meeting in the
Mhm.
summer?
Yeah,
Would you be available for a
That's-
summer meeting, or
mhm.
that's another question that we can have out there before we decide the exact dates, because if we get the majority of the people feedback that, yeah, we'll come in the summer, then that makes that a more viable option for us.
And what
So-
was asking where they want the location, is that, or?
Just would they, would they want just their building? Do they want to be like without anybody else, or do you want to do
Oh,
like
I see.
Price and
Okay.
Preston together because they're near each other, or do you want to do all 6 because you want to hear what everybody else has to say too at these other buildings? Do you want to do those all together, like in the auditorium type thing, or something where maybe we just do it multiple times in the same location on different days, and that way, if the people from Price, if that day doesn't work for them, that you would pick, then they can pick this other day. So it would be, we'd give the presentation multiple times, and hopefully one of those 2 or 3 days would work for everybody, and they'd be able to go to, and or streaming, it would be
And
streamed.
I would
and-
ask that we could do them, like maybe they're not always on a Wednesday, they could have different maybe days in the week.
I think,
I know that's hard for,
I think everyone's gonna pick a different day of the week.
Yeah, true.
Maybe
Yeah,
like
but,
what
but
you
I would wanna know what
time.
building they're responding from, obviously. What's
No, I
what's
mean
your
for
closest
us.
elementary or elementary that you're,
Maybe we just say, like, all those options we just
Right.
listed, like, if you
Because-
had your choice.
right, because
You
it
would
could be
pick up
everybody
what
at Preston
option would
is
you
like,
pick
no,
first?"
summer doesn't work for us.
Mhm.
But everybody, at another building could be like, yes, this does work for us as a majority, and then we could knock some of them out in the summer, even if not all. So,
Like, what are your top 2
oh yeah,
choices, if,
so, yeah, I
see
think
what
that
the
that's,
result is.
okay. All right, and with this agenda topic, we do have a request from Mayor Therese Dunphy, if you would like to come up and speak.
Yes, I would.
Thank you for being here this evening.
So, as you all know, I am the mayor of Silver Lake. Some of you may not know that I was a school board member myself. Served 2 terms was president of the school board for 2 years, was vice president for 2 years. And, but the role that I cared most about, and this was actually intended to go before you had the financial recovery presentations, was actually intended for that, not this part of the agenda, but that's okay.
Would you mind going to the podium with the microphone for us? Thank you. And then that it's to state your name
Sure.
and address, and then 3
Okay.
minutes.
My name is Therese Dunphy.
Thank you.
My address is 2849 Lee Road, Silver Lake, Ohio, Mayor. And as I was saying, my most important role I felt when I was on school board was about student achievement. So this was actually intended for before you passed what you were sending into the state. But I want to run through some of the numbers that I looked at over the last couple of days. First slide you'll see. I looked at similar districts. I did not look at any construction data because frankly, you're the only district, I believe, of the 20 that's got a construction project. So wanted apples to apples. I'm looking at classroom data, I'm looking at non-classroom data. And what I saw in the classroom data, I was very happy with. That's where, as a school board member, I wanted to see spending. Top third going to instruction, that's what I like to see. Sadly, not all the cuts are going, they're gonna impact where you fall on that list. On the second page, I looked at non-classroom spending. And you can see in the top left slide that you're kind of in the middle of the pack there. But then I kind of drilled out because there are two categories. One is administration, and then one is functioning like your cafeteria costs, your transportation costs, and everything else. You're very high on admin costs. And I wanted to bring that to your attention because as you're looking at how to save money, that's someplace you should be looking. The other thing I wanted to point out is that your transportation costs, you're the second to the lowest in the 20 comparable districts. But that's going to change when you open that campus and if you close a building. So I want you to be cognizant and thinking ahead about what impact your changing transportation costs are going to have on your non-instructional costs. Those are things you should be looking at. Finally, the next page, performance scores, performance index. I always looked, and I've said this to every one of you that I've spoken to. To me, the most important thing as a parent, as a future grandparent that I look at is where my kids are going and what kind of education they're getting. And that is the single most important thing that you all do in your jobs. So that needs to be the focus. And I will say that as you look at the math scores below, this is not the first year that the math scores have not been good. And I was really hoping that you would eliminate tabling the implementation of the math program. So that was something I really felt very strongly about. I don't think that's in the good of the district. I think that when you make decisions, when a building can't be open because the boiler doesn't work, learning's not happening. When a curriculum is not working and you don't change it, that's not advancing your mission. So I want you to think about that. And finally, on the last page, I ran through some enrollment numbers. The district's lost more than 20% of its enrollment in the last 10 years. So get it, it's a problem. And now you've got building capacity. But I want you to look at that in relation to your PI scores because they haven't recovered from the pandemic. Other districts have a much closer gap. They had lost many fewer students. All districts are down, but not 20%. And I think that there's a relationship between academic performance and where people choose to send their children. And I think that as you make decisions, that's something you need to keep in mind. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So item 9 is future agenda items.
I don't have anything, but we are going to look at the student wellness. Is that coming up? That report?
Oh, student wellness,
I don't-
report?
I'd like to see something if it isn't, but if it is, because I know we scheduled
We
one
did
way
our
ahead.
panorama.
We've done the panorama
Yeah.
presentation in January.
Right.
And that was it for that committee?
Oh, you're talking
Oh, you're talking about your committee.
Yes,
student wellness committee.
yeah,
Is that the one,
Don't they
Carrie,
have
Ms. Schaefer, is that the one
some-
you're on?
yeah.
Is that
Do
the
they
one you're
have
on, Ms.
anything to
Schaefer?
really
Oh.
present, or?
We did no, not really. We
Okay.
talked about we met two meetings ago, or maybe you weren't here that week.
That could-
We met a couple weeks ago, or couple meetings ago, and we went over the, oh goodness, the survey that we took.
Panorama.
Oh, no, the survey that we went through with the policies that rate
Okay.
to the wellness survey. Not,
Okay.
it has nothing to do with panorama.
Panorama's the other, okay.
Yeah.
I just wondered if we were gonna have a
We did the
presentation from
panorama
that.
survey though.
Yeah, okay.
Are we doing a CTE
Yes,
presentation
next meeting.
on the next meeting?
Krista Coolidge will give that presentation.
And then, I don't believe we have a presentation slated for the meeting after that yet, of any kind, or anything
I'd have to
on that
look.
agenda.
I
Or-
don't know.
I mean, I can look and I
Oh,
can
I'm sorry.
connect with Ms.
Yes,
Kaufman.
you are going to have a presentation, in addition to CTE, you're going to have, they're coming from, Hammond is going to present to you on the, overage, Mrs. White, on the, testing materials, material testing or
yes.
site testing.
Yep.
So
Okay.
they're going, because you're going to have to vote on a resolution to
Okay.
approve that, which is like $280,000 over. So they're going to give you a presentation on that.
Okay. When is that? And that's on March 5th
That
as
will be
well?
next meeting. You're going to have to
Okay.
vote on two things, the resolution and the GMP.
Sorry, the
Thank
what?
you. The GMP.
The GMP, that's actually good news. We had, we came in under 223,000, which is going to allow us to add our alternates. So, more to come on that. But I'm looking at March 19th. You had asked for about presentations. I see, oh, yes, this is our big one for military recognition that Mr. Gomez asked us to have. Career enhancements, Mrs. Hausman? And I'm not sure what that is. And then all those recognitions that I had shared with you about the different student recognitions.
That's all the
Which will
19th.
that'll take a lot of time.
And Top
too.
Tiger, so it's, your
That's
second
packed.
one's packed,
Okay.
yeah. That's a big one.
Is the CTE presentation and all of those other recognitions all on the 19th?
That's the
No.
fifth.
Oh,
The
that's on the
CTE
5th, okay.
and Hammond will be on the 5th.
Got it.
That agenda, as of right now, is relatively light, which is why I had them present on that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Trying to balance, Ms. Cooper.
All right, thank you very much. All right, item 10, committee reports, 6 through 12 construction, Ms. White?
No, we will meet next week.
Mr. Gomez, do you have a date for athletics and activity council, the next meeting yet?
I do not.
Okay. I'm sure you're just so ready to just crash out. Thank you for hanging along. I know how painful it is to follow along for the whole meeting when you're not here in person. It's just different. Okay. Did you have a date for policy committee? I know, Ms. Schaefer. Mrs.
I don't
Schaefer?
think one was actually set. We submitted some dates.
Yeah, we're working
Okay.
on it.
I knew you were working on one. I didn't think we had it.
We're working on a date for policy committee, but we might need to look at some earlier dates because we need to get 2 reads in before April 8th. So I just want to throw that out there for Mrs. Schaefer and I think Mrs. Hausman and Mr. Elder who are at the meeting.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, to get 2 reads in. You're looking at the 5th and the 19th, or no, having them on the agenda by the 19th. Right? Yeah, okay. And Business Alliance did not meet. They
March
will-
11th.
I'm sorry?
March 11th.
Yes. Okay. District Wellness. When do you meet again? Mrs. Schaefer?
I'm not sure of the date. I have it written down, but.
And then Financial Advisory, we met yesterday. I can give a report on that. Ms. Stokely went over the financial recovery plan, so I got to go through that whole presentation. But I was actually sick at that board meeting, so I got to see it live and in person. So it was actually good to go over all of that information again, but that was the bulk of the meeting that we had. Legislative Liaison, Mr. Harris.
Yeah, I want to just briefly, we were sent an analysis from the Ohio Education Policy Institute. Dr. Howard Fleeter did an analysis on the proposed budget, so I'm happy to share that with, I think we all might have received that, but I'm happy to share that with anyone who's listening. Just to kind of breaks it down, I know Mr. Gomez he gets excited about this stuff too. I know he went through it as well and provided us his notes too, so I appreciate that. Just real quick, a couple things as it relates to some legislation. The Senate Ways and Means Committee was hearing some sponsor testimony as it relates to Senate Bill 66, which would include emergency levies, substitute levies, all inside millage and school district income taxes in the calculation of the school district's effective millage floor. They also heard testimony for Senate Bill 81, which would authorize property tax freeze for certain homeowners, homeowner-occupied homes, including senior individuals who are over 65 years old and senior owners of manufactured homes. A couple bills that were recently introduced, I'm not going to cover all of them, just a few here. Senate Bill 107, a bill that would require the state and school district board members to appear on the ballot with a party designation. I'm sure you all have heard about that one. Senate Bill 109, this bill would reimburse public and non-public charter schools to provide breakfast and lunch at no cost to students and appropriate $300 million to offset the cost. House Bill 103, this bill would increase the homestead exemption amount from $25,000 to $50,000 and the income limit from $30,000 to $45,000. And then lastly, House Bill 114. This bill would alter age requirements for kindergarten admission, expanding them to include 6-year-olds who have not completed first grade. So, and again, I'm happy to share. There's a lot of stuff going on with that budget. I'm happy to share any of that information with you folks and folks listening.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Student achievement.
We will meet next Wednesday.
Okay. Thank you very much. That brings us to comments. Mrs. White.
Yes, I was fortunate enough to attend the percussion band concert. I know some of my other colleagues were there as well. It was wonderful, and they always are. It's band. It's always good. But they were really good. I really enjoyed it because you could really see them. Usually they're in the back, and you can't really see what they're doing or their hands when they do those sticks. It was amazing and just so talented. So I really, really enjoyed that. And then going through our notes, I wanted to, thank the teachers, because I was reading through the things I will start doing and from the PD and all that, and I was just excited. Not that I know much about AI, I don't, but some teachers plan to explore AI further and embrace its potential for generating creative, standards-aligned lessons. And I was really happy to hear that, because like Mrs. Dunphy, I am hoping we can build our academics back to the level when I was a student here myself. Not that I was good, but we were, as a district, it was good. And then a focus on using AI to differentiate instruction and personalize learning for students. And oh man, we've been saying that and saying that. It is in our mission. So I really hope that we can do that, because I think the more that we personalize for kids and the more that we differentiate instruction to meet their needs, the better our district will be. I really believe that. So I was just really happy to read some of these things that maybe we'll be doing with AI, even though I don't even have a cell phone, so I don't know. But anyway, so thank you.
I love talking on your answering.
Oh, yeah. They have to keep talking for like an hour before I get to pick up. I know. Well, I am technology, deficient? I don't know. But anyway, thank you for that, because
Preserving the ways of yore.
well, I do email and, whatever. But at any rate, I just don't like cell phones. I just think they
You're
take
the
your
smart one, Mrs. White.
attention
We always
away.
tell you that.
I know, but they
You're
take
smart.
your attention away with,
That's true.
You're right.
you know, if you have family gatherings, shoot, everybody's on their phone.
Yeah.
Or if you're out at a restaurant, or even at the store, I'll turn sometimes and they're talking in their phone, I think they're talking to me. You know, it's just, it takes away your attention, and I don't like it, but okay. Anyway, that's all I really
This
have.
is why you'll be happy to
Thank
know,
you.
maybe, in the budget bill, the governor proposed that we're all gonna have to have a policy that no
I saw
phones.
that. No phones at all.
Nothing like instructionally, I didn't hear all the details, cause they
During the
only give us
school
the
day.
snippet.
Yes, during the school day.
Whole
Yeah,
school day,
so
that
it'll
was
probably
wild.
end up being like we do at middle school model now, which is put them in your lockers beginning and end of the day,
Yep.
but
I think it's working.
see.
I think we're having less,
kids, are you listening? Aren't you all seniors?
less disciplinary
You don't have to worry about it.
problems.
Kennedy already gave me a whole lecture on phones the other day, right? It was a very good one. It was good. Kennedy's very astute.
All
I
right.
appreciated the feedback.
Because you know, it does take your attention away. I think you participate more in class and, you know, actually talk with each other and eye contact,
Yeah,
which
it's been
we're
amazing.
losing at this point. So, you know, I read a whole article on the loss of eye contact. I'm going,
Yeah.
I know, I am old, but, you know, anyway, I'm done.
I would just like to add that I get my dishwasher emptied every time that I need to call you for something. If your dish is in the background, that's what I always like. You call Miss White. I can empty my dishwasher.
See, I screen, you know, but I will answer.
Yes, you do. You do.
Or call
You
back.
probably-
I'm not sure.
You know, I'm just joking with you, but I
I
really
know.
don't mind
It's
talking,
fun. It's
calling you. All right, I am up next. Just congratulations to our top Tigers and Staff Star Award and recognition for Marie and Tim tonight, both absolute champions for our district. And just congratulations to all of them. And I was able to go this past Saturday with Mrs. Schaefer and Mr. Gomez. We attended a leadership workshop up in Independence, and there was a lot of good information. I brought back a lot of things that I know that I can use personally as a board member and continue in my growth. And just again, anytime that we go to any of those types of things, it just reiterates how grateful I am to be up here and sitting with the 4 colleagues that I have. So thank you for being who you are and being here, not only for the right reasons, but really taking every decision that we have seriously and doing your homework, and just the level of respect that we have for each other is something that is hard to find in most school boards across the board. So thank you all for that. And then I attended the Community Talent Show. I was actually a judge for the Community Talent Show. It was about a week and a half ago. It was put on by one of your soups troops, was the head of that, Sophia. It was the Honor Society put it together. But it was a lot of fun. There was a tap dance routine to Snoop Dogg, which was a very odd pairing, but very, very fun to watch. But it was a good night, and they had a really good turnout, and everyone had brought donations of food for the food bank, and they collected over 500 cans for the food bank that night. So it was a good time. Mr. Gomez, did you want to do comments this evening?
No, thank you.
Mr. Harris?
Yeah, just reiterate another congratulations to our top Tigers, to our awardees, and our folks we recognized. Again, I had mentioned it earlier. You know, we love these nights. We get to recognize our students and recognize the folks in and outside of our buildings who are helping out. So thank you. I'm looking forward to the ESC Northeast Ohio Elected Officials Luncheon on Friday.
Mayor will be there.
I'm excited to chat with folks and see some people I probably haven't seen in a little bit. So that'll be exciting. And then I know we got a lot of stuff coming up in March. Tiger Tapestry, I'm very forward to that. I have a friend coming in town staying with us, so I'm dragging her to that as well. And then I just emailed Ms. Stoicoy today. I'll be attending the State Legislative Conference in Columbus on March 18th. Hopefully be able to sit down with our state representatives, have some conversations with them about school funding, and yeah, I will report back after that. So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Mrs. Schaefer?
We had a busy week as well. Mr. Gomez and I attended the Glow Dance at DeWitt. I haven't attended every year, but Mr. Gomez has. But it's a super fun event. They have a great DJ that comes. The kids have a great time. We had to leave early to attend the AP art show, but as I was leaving and I was sitting at the stoplight there at Broad, I looked back at the gym and you could see the light. It looked like a rave going on. And the gym lights. It was a lot of fun. And then the AP art show at Upfront Art Space. Mr. Gomez and I got to meet the artist that did our portraits for the board recognition. I can't remember her last name, Nevaeh. I can't remember what her last name is, but I asked her what she thought. I said, "What are our superpowers?" Because the theme was the superheroes, and I said, "Before you answer, I feel like mine was psychic because I had that beaded thing on it." She said, "Actually, it's not." And she said something about fire because my hair was red in the art. So I think Mr. Gomez got psychic abilities. I didn't get that one, but it was amazing as always. Walk up to the art. Some of them have notebooks of things that like their drawings that they've been working on, and the artists were there, and they're like, "Oh, go ahead and look through my notebook." And I'm like, I felt like I was reading someone's diary. And they're so open with what they're doing in their artwork, and they're like it's so brave. They're like, it's like a look into their soul. Like, here, look at what I'm doing. I could never. It's so awesome. It was great. It was pretty awesome. So, good times.
Thank you, Mrs. Schaefer. Item J is executive session. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 121.22G1, it is hereby moved that the board adjourn to executive session to consider the employment of a public employee or official.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Stokely, please call the roll.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Thank you.
Aye.
Ms. White?
Aye.
Ms. Coco?
Aye.
Mr. Harris?
Be entering into executive session at 7:59. There will be